Peace and blessings. I'm Russell Lewis. I'm a licensed insurance agent. I'm an independent agent and I represent a plethora of different insurance carriers, and I offer a variety of insurance products and insurance services, including automobile, motorcycle, boat, general contractors insurance, long-term care, life insurance, motorcycle. Are you a landlord, have rental property? I work with Foremost Insurance to offer landlord insurance, renter's insurance through Progressive Insurance, as you see, which is one of many carriers I represent. Do you need to protect your business vehicle or your truck? Do you have a golf cart? I work with Universal Property and Casualty for your homeowners and property insurance, Pacific Specialty. Does someone in your home or business need someone who speaks Spanish in the insurance carrier? I have carriers who do that. I'm also a licensed mortgage loan officer in the state of Maryland. I'm looking to expand to 4 to 5 other states in this coming year. And I offer a book to my potential clients on how to get the best mortgages. And a second book I offer to licensed realtors to help their clients prepare for the mortgage lending process. Do your clients or your clients need an estate planning program? We have an estate planning software program which I market and assist you with. And again, many carriers I work with in 16 states from New York down to Florida, over to Ohio, Michigan, Arkansas, Texas, and Colorado. North Carolina, South Carolina, Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Alabama, and other states. If you need insurance, give me a call at 443-622-0561. My web address is www.lewisfinancialgroup.net. You can reach me Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. until 6 p.m. And I'm also available on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I look forward to serving you with all of your insurance needs. Give me a call whenever you're available. Thank you again. Peace and blessings. Have a great day.
One. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome you for this forum here. My name is Gershom Okonda. I'm going to be your moderator. And in this forum here, we have a conversation that I want all of us, not only just to listen, but participate, be part of each and every question and answer, be part of the conversation. And before we go far, I want to invite the person who organized this event so that he can be able to give us just a brief, some 3-4 minutes, why he decided to organize this and make it have a meaning or a reason why we need to converge here and participate in this conversation. And so I'm going to invite John Kubasu. John Kubasu, if you're there, just let's clap for him as he comes in, just to give us a small talk for 3 minutes, just an introduction of the whole conversation, right? Thank you, Karibu Sana.
Thank you all. Good evening, everybody. Yes, I hope and I trust that all of you are having a lovely evening. Thank you for showing up for this event, and it's a pleasure to have you here. So when I first thought about starting this project, the first thing that was in my mind was we need to have a platform or a forum where everybody is able to have a platform or a chance to enlighten themselves, to be empowered, and to have the opportunity to make their voice heard. So that's one of the things that I really thought about when I was starting this this forum. And then I got to meet the likes of Gershom, the likes of Ayo Kimathi, whose work has really spoken for itself. And that really inspired me to go above and beyond. So being here, right now, it's a privilege and it's an honor. So I usually ask myself that in Africa, a lot of things have been defined for us, you know, how we speak, how we talk, how we interact with people. Language has been used as a tool and as a weapon, which is good and also not good for us. So this discussion is going to trigger some of those issues. We're also going to look at the context of Africa as a continent, the rise of Africa versus 21st century colonialism. A lot of things that, like I've said in the past, have been defined for us. So if we can be able to understand where we came from, where we are right now, and where we're headed as a contemporary nation, then I believe this will be a fruitful conversation. As I conclude, in the words of Nelson Mandela, if you talk to people in a language that they understand, that goes into their mind, if you talk to them in their own language, that goes into their heart. And this is the demonstration. Africa, for a long time, the language that we understand is money. And that has been used against us, things to do with corruption and fragmentation. So this discussion is going to shed light some of those issues. I hope you enjoy, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. And so we want to get started now. And as we get started, allow me to invite the guest who is going to give us the enlightenment that he is talking about. This is our guest from United States, Brother Ayo Kimathi. If you can come on stage. And so as he comes, the first thing we want to do is, first of all, to set the mood right. He has a clip that he's going to share with us for about 15-17 minutes or so, and then after that clip he's going to come and start decoding the information or unravel the reality that is in that video. And so before he gets started, before he starts to speak to us, I think the best we're going to do is, first of all, to watch that video. And then once you watch, please, I want you to have somewhere you're putting down a question, or if you have it in memory, that you are going to ask questions, because some of the things you're going to watch on this video are tough, and they need someone to interpret it for us. And so, just to give the introduction, Ayo Kimathi is a social architect, and by the way, for your information, I've known him for the last 2 years only, and I want you guys to know that he's currently running for a seat of a Senate at Maryland State in the United States. So let's give him a clap on that. And as we wish him the best, that we know if we have such kind of brain in the United States, we are going to be well presented as far as the Black America and the Black Africa is concerned. So, Bwana Kimathi, you're very much welcome. Thank you. Let's clap for him as he comes in.
Last we met, we started with the question, who can make war with the beast? Some men out of the east answered the call. Are y'all ready for this? There's only one real war on this planet today that will determine the course of civilization. Do you know what it is? It's not the Russian war with Ukraine. It's not the Israeli conflict with Palestine. It's not Christianity versus Islam. It's not white aggression versus black sovereignty, although that's a major issue. It's not the Chinese Communist Party. It's not capitalism versus communism. It's not men versus women or vice versa. It's not Africans born in America versus Africans born in Africa. Are you kidding me? Is it Big New Brzezinski anyone? Democrats versus Republicans. Nope. Liberals versus conservatives. I don't think so. The hardcore African nationalist who wakes every morning to improve the lives and the future of African people throughout the world, that would be me. Versus the ultra-white nationalist who deplores anything on the planet that's not white, not even. The war that will determine the fate of this planet in the 21st century. Simply stated, Jews versus Gentiles. Are y'all ready for this? Jews versus Gentiles. Let's look at Russia. President Vladimir Putin and the Federation are waging a mighty battle for their sovereignty. But most people mistake the war they're fighting. There is no Russia versus Ukraine war. There are two wars. the war for Russian sovereignty that they are doing a fantastic job in waging. I commend the Federation in winning a battle that not only protects their sovereignty, but supports the sovereignty of all nations on this planet. Then there's the real war. The Russians entered Ukraine and found 46 bioweapon labs, some with bioweapons pointed at the Russian genome. A flaming homophile Jew named Zelensky was installed as the president of Ukraine as they were being used as a proxy nation to stage NATO's assault on Russia. So the bear was facing three things: bioweapon warfare, promotion of homophilia, and NATO invasion of the Federation. And when we really look at it, who were they fighting? Ukrainians? No. They were forced to kill Ukrainians. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 million Ukrainians were killed by Russians during this hostility. The untold story is that the Jews planned to make Ukraine the new headquarters for their homeland, the new Israel. In order to do that, they need to make sure that they don't have a bunch of Ukrainians left there. So the Jews proxied the Ukrainians into a conflict with Russia, forcing the bear to defend itself. The Jewish-run government is grabbing Ukrainian men off the street, slapping uniforms on them, and sending them to the meat grinder, the slaughterhouse, to have to face well-trained Russian military forces and be slaughtered. This rids Ukraine of men. The Jews are moving in and now have access to one of the bread baskets of Eastern Europe. And with the US manufactured weaponry, they are developing one of the most well-equipped militaries in the world. What's the point? In defense of their sovereignty, Russians are killing Ukrainian Gentiles. And Ukrainians are killing Russian Gentiles. The only group who wins are the Jews, who suffer no casualties in the war. In the Russian battle for their sovereignty, the Federation is doing outstanding. In the Gentile war against Jews, Russia and Ukraine are both losing. 2 million Ukrainians and 300,000 Russian Gentiles slaughtered. 0 Jews killed. 2.3 million to 0. I say that sounds like a Jewish victory. Jews are the problem. Are y'all ready for this? How can Jews afford to exterminate the Gentiles in Palestine and sponsor the Ukrainian conflict with Russia simultaneously? It's pretty simple. They rely on their slave colony in Western Israel. You know, we used to call it America. American citizens go to work, produce, pay their bills, buy food, gas, and other accessories, and then get taxed on that and pay income taxes. These funds go to the federal government and the states respectively. What happens with those funds is parasitic economic theft at its height. Jews purchased our legislature, our politicians, through entities like AIPAC, used the funds extracted by taxes and allocated to Jews by Congress to fund wars against Gentiles worldwide. Let's make it simple. This is how it works. First, you get a Jew, right? They say we're going to pay $1 million to bribe and extort a corrupt U.S. legislature to agree to give $100 million to Jews. The bill passes. The Jews take that $100 million. $50 million they put in their pocket. The other 50, they spread throughout Congress to all of the politicians to push a bill to give Jews $1 billion. The bill passes. Thus, the Jews spent $1 million to make $999 million profit. Then those same Jews take that $999 million profit and sponsor wars and genocide agendas worldwide at the expense of American citizens, Western Israel's slave colony. Yes, our tax dollars are paying for Jewish world hegemony and genocide of the Gentiles of the entire world. Palestine, anybody? The theft illustrated in this example pales in comparison to the actual level of criminal theft Jews have committed against the American Republic. Nevertheless, this helps us see how the overtime we put in at our jobs and the tips we get taxed on after a hard day's work are used to fund Jews to enslave and kill Gentiles. Jews are the problem. Are y'all ready for this? Why doesn't anybody do anything about this, you ask? Hamas, Hezbollah, Massey, McKinney, Kennedy, Yemen, Iran. People fight back. But their problem is not in the white field. Their problem is in the White House. Commander-in-Chief or Commander-in-Hand. In January 2020, President Trump had General Soleimani murdered, showing him to be an asset for Jewish interests. However, in April 2020, when President Trump said, hydroxychloroquine, let's try it, he almost single-handedly brought the pandemic to a screeching halt. For those with understanding, he clearly was not part of the initial planned genocide. However, by May 2020, Trump was endorsing Warp Speed, the program for international mass genocide through bioweapon injection. And by January 2021, President Trump pardoned Jonathan Pollard in one of the most egregious acts of treason in American history. Now, in 2025, it's clear that President Trump is a 100% military proxy agent for Jewish interests. He's Donald Trump's thing, the great Shabbos Goy. He's Messiah ben Joseph, ushering in Tikkun Olam and the Noahide laws. He is Commander-in-Hand for the Jews. In this position, all the military equipment and executive orders needed to sponsor physical war against the enemies of the Jews are backed by the American people via President Donald Trump, overseer for Western Israel. Jews control our money. Jews control our military. That's about all they need to wreak havoc on the Gentiles of planet Earth. Jews are the problem. Are y'all ready for this? We mentioned the Fauci, or as popularly called, COVID-19 pandemic, and we mentioned Hezbollah. What do they have in common? More than we might think. A Mossad agent did an expose on 60 Minutes in December 2024 on how they engineered their terrorist assault on Hezbollah. They set up fake companies abroad and marketed explosive-laced pages and walkie-talkies for Hezbollah's consumption. Hezbollah bit and purchased the devices. This elaborate scheme was at least 10 years in the making. At the time deemed appropriate, the Jews remotely detonated explosives and maimed and killed Hezbollah members across Lebanon. This is one of the New Age Jewish tactics. They 1, create something you think you need. 2, spike it with an explosive device. And 3, provide it to you as a good or service. 4, detonate the payload at their discretion. In Lebanon, it was explosives inside of pages and walkie-talkies. If you research attorney Todd Callender, he told us it's a done deal. In the United States of America, the Jewish explosives were not planted just in the ground. They were planted in our veins. These explosives are now housed in our bloodstreams, waiting to be detonated by the Jews. Boom. Safe and effective? It's effective. Jews are the problem. Are y'all ready for this? So now we know that the same international bioweapon warfare aimed at Russia from the Jews of Ukraine was used to poison the world with a death injection called COVID-19 vaccine. This was truly devilish. And speaking of devilish, Revelations 13:18, here is wisdom. Let he that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. You remember? Social distancing. You have to stand 6 feet apart. 3 of us go into the store. You're here. I'm 6 feet. You're 6 feet. 6 feet. 6 feet. 100 people in line. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. For what? Wasn't science. The science of genocide. The Jews tell us what they're gonna do. Then they do it. Somebody else told us before they did it. That's called wisdom. 666. 666. And you say, only a devil would do such a thing. Or maybe you say, I wish someone had told us this was coming and who was doing it. I suggest someone did. Revelations 2:9. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Or maybe John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do, not might do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own. He is a liar and a father of the lie. COVID-19, it was murder from the beginning. It never was designed to vaccinate against any harm. From the beginning, the children of Satan. Somebody told us. We haven't been listening. The king told us the truth. We didn't heed the wisdom, nor did we process the understanding. And now we're playing the waiting game to see how lethal our decision to give our bodies over to Satan's children will prove to be in the end. And to wrap this part of our discussion up, we need to examine why this attempt to pit the world at odds with Russia feels so desperate. It was Greg Reese in the Reese Report who visited Russia and gave us the key to the riddle. He went to find out how the Russian people avoided getting mass injections. He discovered that the Russian Federation had the same or similar COVID-19 vaccine official mandates other countries issue. People faced arrest and penalty if they refused to get injected. Despite the mandates, the Russian people refused the injections, and the Russian law enforcement refused to rain tyranny on their non-compliance. Hence, there was no way to enforce the mandates. The Russian people, not the Federation in this case, won the battle. Well, that's great for the Russian people, but that slaps Jewish tyranny in the face. They have the detonator ready for the US people and Western Europe, but they have no detonation ready for the majority of the Russian people. Hence, in addition to BRICS, military and resource support for African liberation and sovereignty, Russia doesn't have a white population of sitting ducks. Hence, the Jews are more desperate than ever to destroy the Russian people. World War III will happen one way or the other if Jews have their way. And Russia is their primary target. Jews are the problem. Are y'all ready for this? We could go on for days discussing the problem. But there are so many great researchers and political pundits giving outstanding information and analysis of the problem that I encourage you all to seek the truth from all sources. Today it travels far and wide, and you can find the answers you're looking for. For those of you listening to me now, it's time to start talking solutions. First, we must be clear that the primary war on this planet is Jews versus Gentiles. Number two, we must declare and ensure that Gentiles win this war. Thirdly, on an individual and group basis, we must boldly declare that we will not kill any Gentiles for any Jews or any Jewish interests. Number four, we only have one option. Massey for president in 2028. Only Gentiles who stand against Jewish tyranny will be politically supported and respected. Fifth, purchase Jews Are the Problem, books 1 and 2. Share and discuss them. This is our gateway to unity. Lastly, I ask the leaders of the world who believe in sovereignty. I'm talking President Vladimir Putin, President Xi Jinping, President Kim Jong-un, perhaps General Barbecue in Haiti, and most certainly our three kings, Baba Goita in Mali, Baba Traore in Burkina Faso, and Baba Chiani in Niger, the AES. Give me until the summer of 2027 to set the climate for the inevitable. At that time, I will call on you men, collectively, to take frontal positions before the entire world, declaring, Jews are the problem. Allow me the time to set the stage, then we'll actually see who's ready for this. For those of you who want this experience live, in living color, please contact us and book me for speaking engagements or lectures at your church, organization, community center, university, national assemblies, etc. For those nations or other interested parties more interested in my social architecture services, please contact me directly so we can discuss these options as well. Remember, Jews are the problem, but with cooperative nationalism, Gentiles are the solution. Let's begin the work. I'll see you on the battlefield.
Speak without first asking for permission from the elders. I also humble myself at the honorable mention of those who have fought and or died for the liberation of African people, whether on the continent or in the diaspora. Realizing that at this present moment in time, we need them more than we ever have before. And I am not ashamed of the contributions that they have made, so I call on them. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben, Queen Ashantiwa. If you are not ashamed of what they have done for you, then call on them. Khalil Muhammad, Malcolm X, Nat Turner. If you are in need of the power and strength that they possess, then call on them. Ferguson, Denmark, VC, KB, if you are in need of encouragement and guidance from them, then call on them. Robert Williams, King Hannibal, Queen Ashantiwa, Nefertiti, Ashe, finished. Ashe.
My ancestors woke me up this morning. They said, son, you do know what time it is, don't you? I said, what time is that?
They said it's wartime, so welcome to the war front. Give yourselves a round of applause, brothers and sisters. Thank you. I wasn't joking when I said it's wartime. I want to start with the tradition, and I'm fortunate to know there's at least one person in the room that's been here longer than myself, my elder, professor here. And so I would ask the elders to grant me permission, because I'm about to drop some bombs. So I definitely need permission before I do this on the soil of my Kenyan brothers and sisters. Do I have permission to speak? Thank you, Barbara. Yes, sir. So I'm not going to be much on long introductions. I know we're late in the hour. I want to thank you all for coming. For anybody that wants to reach out and stay in touch with us, our website, socialarchitects26.com, or you can email us at empowerment@socialarchitects26.com. So put that information down there. I'll leave it for a moment just in case you want to take a picture or whatever the case may be. You can always get in touch with us anywhere in the world. We're here for African survival. I also want to let people know what we've been doing. We've been going around the United States of America from 2024 to 2025. It's part of we've been doing it since 2015, African survival in the 21st century. And what we have going on in the AES right now, what you young brothers and sisters here in Kenya have lit a fire to, and what's going on throughout the African continent, we now need to discuss it and be prepared for African survival in the 21st century, because the young people are rising, African people are rising, but our enemies are rising as well. Are y'all with me? All right. So we went around the United States from October 5th, 2024 to April 5th, 2025, talking about the great things that are happening in the AES. Let me tell you, there's a lot of young people at the University of Ouagadougou, Kizerbo. Y'all won't know why that means something, but it took me a whole week to learn how to say that. They're tuned in from Burkina Faso right now, and I said Kizerbo, so I got it right. Let's clap it up for all our brothers and sisters in Burkina Faso right now that are tuned in with us. Thank you. This is them. I just want to show so you can see I'm not make-believe. I just got back this month.
1, 2, and 3.
Long live Burkina Faso!
Again.
Long live Burkina Faso!
Okay.
English lovers club. Keep up here and move along together. Keep up here and move along together. English lovers club. Further we go, closer we get. Further we get, further we go. Area group.
Action.
Media department.
Fire we put.
Fire we put.
Media department.
Sport department.
On full shape. That's right.
Now, I just want to say this very quickly. I was with this fantastic brother that I'm about to speak about very quickly, Brother Gerishom, this week. You can't let this man have the microphone too long, because if you got to come on behind this brother, you better be at your best. Let me tell you, this brother was working with young people, and what moved me so much, the ancestor talked to me so much. He took me to the school to let me see how he's working with the parents and the youth. It was Angata Academy, beautiful school. And they're right about to graduate. And what was so magnificent, those young people that we just saw in Burkina Faso speak French as their first language, yet they were learning how to speak English. In this place, these young people in Kenya speak English, but they were learning French. Both groups of young people did a play in a different language, and they did the play. It was almost the same play. They've never met each other. So I sent a video of the play from Kenya to the young people in Burkina Faso University. They went bananas. They said, this is the opposite of us. They can help us learn English. We can help them learn French. So we're now putting them in touch with one another. Let's clap for African unity. That's African unity. On my tour here for African survival, I'm not going to be long with the introductions, but I would be remiss if I didn't say this. Since I've come to Africa, we know about Soweto, right? Man, they get it hot. They still hot in Soweto. Would you believe in Soweto in January, because that's the month that the Haitian Revolution was won, and they celebrate the independence. Right now, to this day, every January, they celebrate the independence of Haiti. And I just got back from Azania, South Africa, Soweto, and this was the Black House Collective. They're still running and engineering black liberation right there in Soweto. I got it on video. So just go ahead.
It's on video.
Video
Recording
right
already.
Yes, already recorded.
I memo from that. Green is the card.
Yes.
Especially for us who are born in January when it's coming.
Oh, yeah. Nobody's strong as red and black, eh?
Oh.
Yeah. Black.
I can see some of you shaking your head. You know that that's General Dessalines. We had a brother in Soweto right before the event. He painted that himself and produced that for the event. Let's clap it up for the Haitian Revolution and for Soweto. Y'all can do better than that. Come on, let's show some love. That's right. This is how we do it. Now, what we're doing here now, you say, why did we do it so fast? You say, we didn't have a long time to do this. What we're going to drop today, I promise you, I always keep my promises. What's going to be dropped on you today is so critical. Everybody that's here physically, everybody that's out there in the audience, if you are an African, there's not a more important message you're going to get than the one you're going to get today. I'm not telling you what I think. I didn't even intend to come to Kenya. I was going to West Africa. You saw where I was in South Africa. But right after I bought my ticket, I'm on my way. The devil popped out and said, it's time for me to go hurt African people. And where did they decide they were going to start? Right here. Ground zero. I said, I got to go. Because I'd done it one time before when they were trying to do something. And I came, and together we worked it out, and we won. I said, I'm going to do it again. Before it gets in motion, I'm going to be here at ground zero with my brothers and sisters because I know what the Kenyans will do because I've seen you do it. So we put this together at the last minute. And I wanted to say that the rise of Africa versus 21st century colonialism. We have a lot to talk about. I probably won't talk about everything because we're late in the evening. But the main thing that I came for, that I absolutely know that you need, and nobody's going to tell you unless I tell you, you're going to get it today. Y'all all right? So I just want to say a special thank you. None of this would have been possible. Y'all have some outstanding, hot young leadership in Africa, Kenya right here now, brothers and sisters. East Africa, y'all are hot. Y'all don't know that we watching y'all all the way from across seas going, we got to get down there with them young people. They know how to do this thing. You can't just wait for it. Sometimes you got to push for change. Y'all are doing it. We called this brother up. I talked to his auntie. She knew what I was trying to do, and I showed her what was happening. She said, we have to do something. I'll send you my nephew. Brother didn't even ask a question. We need to set it up. It's done. And I mean, every single day running and getting things done, even put together a fantastic panel of young people that you're going to, I mean, people that are doing things, attorneys, archivists, all kinds of young people that are here with us today that are going to come in and jump in when it's necessary. He put this together with no time. And that's why we were able to put it together. So please, let's clap for Brother John Kubasu. Without him, none of this would have happened. That's our moderator. I also want to say a special shout out. I don't know if the video came out, but I want to say this because we were able to do a video with Odur Jagero. Did I say it right? Okay. Y'all got to let me know now. I don't want to mess nobody's name up now. Odur Jagero. I call him Podcaster Supreme. Why did I do that? I go around the world. How many people in here are already familiar with who I am and what I do? If this is the first time you've seen me, raise your hand. You don't know anything about me. You don't know. All right, good. For you all who don't know, you'll see by the end of this, not everybody is willing to have a discussion with me. And more importantly, I speak and do interviews all around the world. There's always some conditions because, quite frankly, people have a job. And if you tell too much truth, there's somebody in control of how much truth can be told that they know that they have to tell me, well, let's not talk about this because that might cause me a problem. And I always respect it. I sat down with this brother. He wanted to talk about what was going on in the U.S. I said, well, is it off? He said, wait a minute, off limits. He said, I don't have anybody that owns me. I'm a Kenyan black man. I run my own show. As long as it's the truth, lay it out there. And I'll challenge it when I don't agree. Let's go. I said, I like that. That's my kind of audience. So it was an outstanding interview. I hope he gets a chance to put it out there. You have an outstanding brother out here in terms of his willingness to let truth be told. Let's clap it up for Brother Jagero. I know you're familiar with him. And lastly, and then we're going to get right into this, my brother Garishon. This brother here, he's a youth trainer extraordinaire. If you have youth that you need trained, this is the man you call. If you have a school institution with youth, you're cheating them and the youth and the parents and the teachers if you don't bring this brother out. I'm telling you, when he's there, I don't want to speak. I just want to sit down, listen, and learn. That's how outstanding my brother is. He's our corporate MC today. He's also our East African manager of regional affairs. The things we have planned for East Africa, he'll tell you by the time we end this program, this summer is going to be outstanding and phenomenal. We would have liked to talk a lot about that, but I got things that are so much more important than that in this moment I got to get to. So let's clap it up and thank our brother for putting it together. Honestly, Brother John did everything we could do, but without my brother here, there's nothing in East Africa I can get done without this brother. I'm fumbling all over the place. I call him. He says, don't worry. This is how we get it done, and he gets it done for us. Thank you, my brother. And this is my brother here. I want people to know that. Number one, we're talking about the threats to African survival. Due to the nature of the time, we'll probably only get through number one. You all will let me know once we finish this what you want to do. And remember, as we go, we had to change the program a little bit because we knew what time was like. As I'm going, some of these young people who are on our panel, a distinguished panel, some of them are policymakers, attorneys, artivists. If something hits them that they want to say, they're going to come up, take the mic. I'm going to sit down so they can go and say a few words. Then I come back up and keep going, all right? So that's how we're going to do with this. We're going to move with the spirit. The number one threat to African survival in this moment, it can change any day, in this moment is chemical biological warfare. And it's right here, came right to your door in December, live and direct, not something I heard. This is what I've been involved in. I know what they have in store for you that you absolutely positively 0% can negotiate with. So let's go talk about it. We call it the African Holocaust Bill. I'm saying it again. The African Holocaust. The decimation and murder, intentional killing of African people. Only reason I'm going through this background is because it is very difficult to believe somebody you don't know making such a claim of what I'm saying. I'm not going to tell you something and not prove it to you. I'm going to share this with you. Then I'm going to show you them saying it. Then I'm going to show you me fighting it. Not for you to see me, but you will know what this man is saying is true. And I know where I can go to find out more truth about it. Y'all with me? So don't believe me. Believe what I'm going to show you. I didn't do the article. This is Kenya in 2014. How many people in the audience remember or aware that there was a UN tetanus so-called vaccine that was given to 500,000 Kenyan women? Raise your hand if you knew about this. Better yet, if you have not heard about this, raise your hand. You're not familiar with this. So we got one brother that's not. Anybody else, raise your hand if you don't know. I want to make sure. So we have at least one person that didn't know. Okay. What did they find out? The Kenyan scientists said, doctors said, wait a minute, something doesn't feel right. They want to just give this to our daughters. Let's send it to South Africa and do some lab tests. The tests came back. There were fertility agents, anti-fertility agents in the so-called vaccine to sterilize Kenyan women. 500,000 before they pulled it back. There are any number of Kenyan women in your country right here, right now, today, who cannot have children or have had to go 5 or 6 pregnancies to have one child that would make it because they had taken this death injection. Are y'all with me? This is a mass sterilization exercise. Kenyan doctors find anti-fertility agent in UN tetanus vaccine. November 4th, 2014. I didn't make this up. I'm going to say something because we got to learn. There are 2 languages. I know you didn't know that I'm bilingual, but I am bilingual. You got to get bilingual too. All of us have got to get bilingual. We all speak English. That's one language. Then there's a language called no good devil. They sound alike. So I'm going to show you the two different languages and how to interpret it. And then as we go forward, I'm going to ask you, that was in English. And then I'm going to ask you, now, can you interpret it for me in no good devil, all right? Because correct me if I'm wrong. If you call something a tetanus vaccine, then if you give that to somebody one time, it's supposed to prevent them from getting tetanus, but not sterilize the women. Am I correct? But if it's actually designed to kill the people and make sure these women can't have babies so that we don't exist, that's no good devil, right? Okay, so no good devil, because that's devilish behavior, sounds exactly like English. You have to be able to interpret. This was 9 years later, in case you forgot what happens when you allow the European West to come in and experiment with Kenyan people. 2023, you need your COVID vaccine.
Yeah, COVID bad. Poleni mtapona. Poleni.
Now, authorities in Kenya are investigating a mystery illness which put more than 90 school children in hospital in the west of the country. The students from a girls' high school in the town of Kakamega complained of knee pain and difficulty walking. Well, let's cross live now to our Africa health correspondent, Dorcas Wangira. And Dorcas, give us a bit more detail about what this mystery illness is all about.
We're still waiting for the health authorities to actually ascertain what this illness is. Yesterday, blood samples, stool samples, and urine samples were taken to Nairobi, the capital, and Kisumu. However, many of the girls had the same symptoms. They were struggling to walk. They had leg paralysis, and some of them had what looked like convulsions. We still cannot put a name to this. Some health experts say that this could be mass hysteria, but only the test will tell us for sure what this illness is. Well, at this point, it's still too early to say that this could be foul play. And at the moment, what is really important is for the test results to come back fast, and then other leads will be followed, Maria.
Now, if in 2014 they sterilized 500,000 black women and no penalty, why would we stop? I thought this was Kenya. I thought if you come to harm the Kenyan people, you got to pay a price. But where there's no price, we just come back in. Where your daughter's at? Stick. What's been the penalty? And then now we can see some of our own people learn how to speak no good devil. Some people think it could be mass hysteria. So you telling me some sisters in a high school all of a sudden getting seizures because they're hysterical? Really? An African gonna make that claim after they get injected from some Westerners that we let in our clan to stick our children. And then that's the example of what we say. Why would they stop? Why would they not come back tomorrow if that was 2023 and that's the answer? You think they're going to stop? That wasn't an answer that make nobody stop. Not these white folks I know. Wait a minute. You say, well, the brother, he really loves black women. I'll raise my right hand to Allah and I will tell you, yes, I do. I love me some black women. But let me tell you the truth. And yes, brothers, I'm saying if I have to pick who I want to look at any given time, you, even though I love my brothers, or a beautiful black woman, I'm sorry, brother. Give me a moment. I just love my black women. But These devils are equal opportunity killers. This is 2018. State Department in the United States of America offers $600,000 to study gender identity in Kenya. Oh, so they want to study the gender. They're not going after our sisters this time. Listen to this. Black man, every black man and black woman in this room, but particularly black men, you better hear this. You didn't know your enemies see you here in Kenya. I didn't do this. They see you as one hell of a man. Listen to this. If the United States is to win the war on terror, they must identify all the masculine boys in Kenya and retrain them to get more in touch with their feminine side. English, you know, everyone is balanced, male and female, and so the men have to get in touch with their feminine side. No good devil, we got to turn the men in Kenya to a bunch of faggots. That's no good devil. I don't speak that. I'm just saying that's what they're saying. If they fail to do so, those boys could be radicalized. But let's see what their definition. They're going to get real defining. What is it about these Kenyan men? I'm talking about you, brother. The brother with they say you are a problem for them. I want this brother here with the nice suit. You a problem. Look, brother, you got your hat there. When he walked in, I said he here for this. I know that when I saw the y'all brothers, y'all a problem. But I want you to hear why you're a problem. Y'all ready? I didn't do this now. I'm just sharing it with you. The U.S. State Department Bureau of Counterterrorism. So they worried about you being a terrorist. Let's see why. Is offering $600,000 of U.S. taxpayer money to a nonprofit group to explore gender identities of boys and men in Kenya. According to the grant documents, Kenyan boys who show signs of being tough. That man, everybody I'm looking around here, I can see all one of these brothers do a little bit of lifting and working out. So y'all a problem because you a man and you're masculine, you're tough, all right? Heterosexual. Many of the brothers walked in with their queens. They got the queen sitting right next to them. How you doing, brother? This is my queen. So because you know that a black man is supposed to love a black woman and you got that right, you are a problem. By the way, is there anybody in here that is not that problem? Because you might want to exit stage left because I don't really do that type of thing, you know. Aggressive. So if you're not just going to sit back and smile when you see that they injecting and killing your women, huh? If you're aggressive, you're a man, you're a problem. Unemotional. So you can't be a thinking man like each of the brother right there sitting there with his hand like this. He said, I'm listening to understand to make sure this is accurate. You can't be a thinking man because that's a problem. You're supposed to be feminine and emotional. Can't we have our women? Can't they do that? Man, wait a minute. And achieving. You don't want to just sit there and do it. I got to go out here. I want to take care of my wife and my children. So I got to get more. I got to do something. Oh, if you trying to be an achieving black, I got at least two brothers come in here clean attorneys. I mean, these brothers clean. They walk past me. I'm like, oh, come on, bro. You trying to outdo the brother. Come on now, slow down. These are achieving young black men. You can see it on them when they walk down the steps. Brother, I just want to let the panelists know, y'all are a problem for the West because y'all clearly want to achieve. And I'm glad they didn't say sister because the sister was the first one here, clean walking in here, so she achieving too. They are likely to be joining radical groups. Why did I show this to you? I want to be very clear to the audience. I don't speak that type of English. I speak black man English. Wherever you are in the world, I'm talking to black folks. I'm an African. They are trying to kill us. Who? They? At the top is the Jews. And in along with them, in accordance with them, are many rich, wealthy white folks. They are trying to kill us. That means black people in the West, and definitely because you're on the rise. The youngest population of people on the planet is in Africa. They see it. They want to kill you, and they're not hiding it. And I'm going to let you know before it happens. Y'all all right? Well, is it worth your time being here right now? Am I wasting your time? I ain't even got to the part where they coming to get you yet. I'm just letting you know the background, just in case you want to double check, is this really a contract? You would have to get a FOIA request because they haven't made it public, but I'm giving you the number. The title of it is Masculinity and Violent Extremism in Kenya. When they advertised for it, that's what it was called. Masculinity and Violent Extremism in Kenya. The funding opportunity, the number that you would look up, SF0P 0003922. I'm going to say it one more again. SF0P SSOP, I'm sorry, SSOP SFOP 0003922. That's the number if you want to go and start looking up to see what were they trying to do. Well, you just kind of heard about it, but you know what this whole contract is. Now, I can say it, or I can tell you to listen to the folks that are telling you themselves. I want you to listen as he speaks no good devil. How many people in here think you understand no good devil enough now? You might raise your hand so I can see. Otherwise, I have to do all the translating. Okay, I'm going to rely on you to translate with your own ears and mind what you're actually hearing right here. Y'all can hit the lights for me.
With it. So it's in the very poorest places that you're going to have a tripling in population by 2050. And so their ability to feed, educate, provide jobs, stability, protect the environment in those locations mean, they're faced with an almost impossible problem. Northern Nigeria, Yemen, Chad. And so what we do between now and 2050, that'll really set the course for moderating the population growth between 2050 and 2100. Offer the women better tools where they want to space birthing or have a smaller family size. In Niger right now, it's still 7 children per family, whereas in the richer countries, you're often at a stable point of which is 2.1 or even less. And so it's really an acute problem in a certain number of places, and we've got to make sure that we help out with the tools now so that they don't have an impossible situation later. I'm going to talk today about energy and climate. And that might seem a bit surprising because my full-time work at the foundation is mostly about vaccines and seeds, about the things that we need to invent and deliver to help the poorest 2 billion live better lives. But energy and climate are extremely important to these people. In fact, the world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Bill Gates.
Did everybody hear that? He said, yeah, that's right. First he said in Niger, which we know now, this was before the AES was formed, but in Niger, the women are having 7 children apiece. They need to have more like 2 or less than 2. Genocide. We don't want them having that many babies. Then he comes back and say, we got these things called vaccines. You know, tetanus shots, or they go into Kakamega. And we're going to give them these shots. If we do a really good job, we will decrease, not increase, livelihood. We will decrease the population 10 to 15%. So they're trying to do what? In simple working man's, black man's English, they're trying to do what? Say it again. No, that's right. He said genocide, right? They trying to do what? Make it simple for young people that are listening. What are these folks trying? What is this individual, this devil that we just looked at? What do you want to do to black people? Yeah, but give me a straight word that a young person would understand. They might not know that one. Genocide is correct, but give me a simple one. Yeah, murder. They trying to kill us. That's right. Am I making that up? Am I exaggerating what the man just said? All right, you might think I am, but then let's do this. In case I'm exaggerating, we'll do another video. Just in case I didn't see 100% agreement. Some people say he might be stretching it. Let's see what their objectives are from their own mouth. And what are these injections designed to do?
As lead researcher Kevin McHugh explains, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation came to us and said, "Hey, we have a real problem knowing who's vaccinated." So our idea was to put the record on the person. This way, later on, people can scan over the area to see what vaccines have been administered and give only the ones still needed.
Is a luciferase enzyme. Okay, they named it, they patented it luciferase. I don't like that name. Luciferase because it has bioluminescent qualities, which means it can produce a light or it has a light source. And all of this would be under your skin and you cannot see it. Now, the luciferase is an idea because they want to make sure that you're vaccinated. They don't trust medical records. They don't trust you saying that you got vaccinated. They want to make sure, and they want to make sure it was successful, a successful transfection, a successful gene modification. So when you get the luciferase enzyme, if you have an iPhone or a special app on the iPhone, you can scan over that area and it will give a digital code, a digital imprint, a digital pattern, something that will identify that you were vaccinated. It holds your vaccination record. It also gives you an ID, a number, a barcode, a branding, whatever you want to call it, a tattoo. It's all the same thing. You now become like a product.
What's even more concerning is that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation on March 26, 2020, applied for a patent number 060606, to take that biometric data, give you a barcode, and connect each of us to cryptocurrency so that we would become literally slaves to the system. Like everything, it would be the end of privacy, the end of freedom, because who gets the data? Who uses the data? And what do they do with it?
As viewers of the Who is Bill Gates documentary will know, the idea of implanting remote-controlled vaccines in large populations has been around since at least 2012, when, according to MIT Technology Review, Bill Gates personally asked MIT researcher Robert Langer to create an implantable birth control device that could be turned on or off remotely. The resulting device, a wireless birth control microchip that, as the National Post noted in 2014, can be turned on and off with a remote control and that is designed to last up to 16 years, was developed by Microchips Biotech, now part of Dare Bioscience, and has so far received $17.9 million in grant funding from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
I put that in here particularly for two reasons. One, I don't even like this stuff. It's kind of weird, this type of technology, but I realize not liking it is not going to save me and not going to save my people. I got to learn what they're doing. And two, you got something right now when people say they want your information, signing you up to get your information. They have had a situation where they were talking about implanting chips in your children here in Kenya. Am I making that up? Talk to me. Am I making that up? So you all are familiar with that. Okay. So now we start putting all the pieces together. Is it clear for us to see that we're under assault? I'm saying we because I'm an African. If something happens to you, you're my brother. What good is the world without my brothers and sisters? So I can't see if they do something to you, they doing it to me from my vantage point. I mean that. What is the world without your brothers and sisters? If I see them trying to kill a black person, they trying to kill me. And I'm going to come try to do something about it. So we see who it was that was making it. Now, I'm going to say this because I got to get into this point. I'm going to move because our time is moving. But these are very important things because it's not going to change. So once you get this understanding, you can follow this for the next 10, 15 years. You're going to have to be fighting this. What we called COVID-19, take a step back for a moment. I'm going to reshape the whole thing for you. And I have another place that you'll be able to get it, access to. Right now, I'm just giving you the overview. I want you to hear me. It was not a natural illness. It wasn't even something that was designed to hurt people per se. It was used for a more dangerous genocide, which was to get everybody injected. What you were getting injected with was not, is not, and never was a vaccine. I want you to hear me again. It's not a vaccine. It is gene editing technology. It looks, he said, what exactly? It looks like, you know, if you're going to get something for a shot, you're getting, what they call it, you get a shot, you get a jab, a shot, and they if you know, if you got a bacteria, they give you antibody or it looks like a normal thing. You go in there. No, there's all kind of technology. You got nanobot technology, which is microscopic robots in this thing. You got graphene oxide, but the most important thing, and I'm gonna let you hear, this is the chief medical officer for Moderna. Everyone's heard of Moderna. Let him describe what mRNA technology is. The Jew, Tal Zaks from Israel, chief medical operating officer for Moderna. This was in 2018. You can still go right now on YouTube. If you're there, put in Tal Zaks, Z-A-K-S, and mRNA. It'll pop right up. You can listen to it for yourself.
As I've trained as a physician scientist, we've been living this phenomenal digital and scientific revolution. And I'm here today to tell you that we're actually hacking the software of life and that it's changing the way we think about prevention and treatment of disease. So here's all the biology you need to know in 30 seconds. Our body is made out of organs. Our organs are made out of cells. And in every cell, there's this thing called messenger RNA, or mRNA for short, that transmits the critical information from the DNA, our genes, to the protein, which is really the stuff we're all made out of. This is the critical information that determines what a cell will actually do. And so we think of it like an operating system. And it's not just in every cell of our body, it's actually in every cell of every organism alive. It's the same thing. And so if you could actually change that, which we call the software of life, if you could introduce a line of code or change a line of code, it turns out that has profound implications for everything from the flu to cancer.
It was never a vaccine. It has nothing to do with vaccines. It has nothing to do with health. They are installing technology into people. If you've taken it, you're here, so don't worry about it. We'll find a way. If you have not taken it, or if you have, you don't take no more of this stuff, because it's not only the things that they call COVID vaccines. What they're doing now, all kind of different injections, all kinds. They're now making them mRNA, but they're not telling people. So when you go now to get this stuff, you really don't know what you're getting, because it looks like a regular valve that they stick in there. You don't have any idea. I don't have time to get into what they putting in this stuff. But you did hear him say it, correct? This is hacking the software of life, changing your DNA code, which is why so many people are dying from blood clots. So many people are getting, all of a sudden, 4th stage cancer. They didn't even get 1st, 2nd, or 3rd stage cancer. You've heard of that. And all of a sudden, they're dying. It's because these injections are mass murder genocide. Not any two ways about it. Now, I'm going to move a little faster here. Oh, this is what I'm going to do, because people may want this information. Brother Gershom and Brother John, I'm going to give them links. This is a 4-part series, $100 electronic copy. If you're online now, you want to get it, you can order it now. But for all the brothers and sisters here in Kenya, since we're at ground zero, I'm going to give them the link. It's free. They'll send it to you. You download it, watch it. You'll get all the information you need, all right? Now, let me tell you how this worked. In 2019, around about August, called Fort Detrick, Maryland, something called spike protein leaked. It's a bioweapon. That's the easiest way for me to say it. And if you get it, you can't breathe. You feel like you got the flu. That's not what we call COVID-19. It's a bioweapon. It leaked. I don't know if it was intentional or not. I wasn't there. They shut down Fort Detrick, didn't tell anybody. It was only later, because I live right there in Washington, D.C. and Maryland. They're right there next to each other, that I would find out a bunch of people got sick. couldn't breathe and thought they were going to die. That was in August 2019. Once it got out, they decided now it's time to do this thing. October 2019, go online and look it up for yourself. It's called Event 201. You can watch it right now. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Johns Hopkins University, and the World Economic Forum did something called Event 201. You can watch it. Where they planned 3 months before the pandemic. If a pandemic hits, these are all the steps we're going to take. Everything we did from the lockdowns and no jab, no job, all of that, they discussed it in October 2019. It's still online 3 months before they unleashed this thing on the world. So what did they do? Once they told everybody, oh, this thing is out there in 2020, this is the ugly part. People, for the most part, did not die from nothing called no COVID-19 or the spike protein. There's so many things that can knock that out. That's not how they died. What I'm saying, I know to be true for millions in America, but, or at least hundreds of thousands to millions ultimately. But even in Africa, it's going to be hurtful when I share this. I've talked to people who cry on the phone with me saying, I was with my mother when this happened. In fact, that's how I ended up here. I didn't even want to look at what I'm going to show you why I'm here. My spirit told me, you're going to West Africa. If you look at this as bad, don't do it. But when the sister heard me on something else talk about what I'm about to share with you right now, she called me in tears and said she went through word for word what I described in Uganda with her mother, where they murdered her mother. Her mother actually wrote them a letter in, I forget the language, it wasn't English, saying they're trying to kill me in here. She said they spent thousands, like $40,000, $50,000 trying to save their mother. They killed her in the hospital, but they didn't know what was happening. When she heard what I'm about to share with you, this is really what happened. The objective for the entire time was to make everybody put these injections in them for this gene editing technology. They didn't come up with no shots with 4 different companies in 1 year. That didn't happen. They've been waiting with this thing for 10 years. Some people say 20 years. They've been had these things, but they had to find a way to make it happen. They unleashed the bioweapon. People had a hard time breathing. When you went to the hospital, I'm telling you what they did. When you got in there, you could have broke your leg and it had nothing to do with not being able to breathe. They paid the hospitals to give you a test, say that you were positive, put you on a drug that they had tested in Africa on, what was that disease that was killing everybody for a short time? Ebola. They tested Ebola. This thing called remdesivir killed over 50% of the people, so they pulled it. They said it's a poison. The only thing anybody around the world got if you went into the hospital in 2020, a year later, was remdesivir. What does remdesivir do? It kills your kidneys. You can't release the liquids. So the liquids back up into your lungs. You can't breathe. They come in, put you on the respirator, and murder you. I mean, ventilator, not respirator, ventilator. And so now they drowning you because you can't breathe and you got the liquid in your lungs and they drown people to death. But don't take my word for it. This is a fact. And I'm playing right now just a short one. This is brother Dr. Peterson Pierre. He's going to describe to you how much money hospitals made murdering people in the United States of America. He's an MD.
Hello, fact finders and truth seekers. This is Dr. Peterson Pierre with America's Frontline Doctors bringing you today's Frontline Flash. So the current situation is this. If you have COVID and you end up in the hospital, you're put on a rigid protocol and there's high mortality rate in the hospital and your family is kept in the dark as to what's happening. So what's going on here? Number one, the CARES Act is providing bonus payments to hospitals whenever you have a diagnosis of COVID. And then number two, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services is waiving patient rights. This is a deadly combination. So here's what happens. You get a payment because you offer a free COVID test in the emergency room. You get a boost payment if you have a diagnosis of COVID. Number 3, you get another bonus payment if you are admitted with COVID. Number 4, you get another bonus payment if you're put on remdesivir. Number 5, another bonus payment if you're put on a mechanical ventilator. Number 6, another 20% bonus if the diagnosis on your death certificate says COVID, even though you may not have died from COVID. And then number 7, there's bonus payments to coroners. Do you understand the gravity of what's happening right now? The Biden administration is literally paying hospitals to kill you. That's what's happening. This is terrible. We need to stop that. These are real human lives we're talking about. They're priceless. It's estimated at about $100,000 per patient is what the hospital's getting. Think about that. Ladies and gentlemen, the real news of right now continues on the next Frontline Flash.
You get the point. I don't have to belabor it. I will say this. It means so much to me because I then found out that back in South Africa, just a point of note, when a lot of people were dying on Southern Africa, quote unquote AIDS, it was the same process. They were dying of AZT or the drugs they were putting people on. People had immune deficiency. They could have helped them by helping their immunity. They intentionally would kill them, and the doctors would get paid to sell somebody, even if they were just dealing with dehydrated. You come in dehydrated, the doctor's not going to get any money if those doctors say you're dehydrated. But if they said you had AIDS and they put you on the drugs, they got paid thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. This is something they've been doing for a while, but they did it internationally this time. Again, I'm going to say this because it's important. This didn't just happen in America. It was more people in America than anywhere else in the world. But it happened in Kenya the same way. Why didn't as many black people on the African continent die when this stuff happened? Because there weren't enough people who had access to hospitals. So the people who died, if you think about it, most of the people in Africa who died, I talked to people in South Africa. They said the only people that died was the ones that went to the hospital. I talked to people in Uganda who were there with their parents. My parent had a little money. She went there. That's where she died. People who did not go to the hospital did not die. That's why they weren't afraid of running to try to get the jab, because they're like, I've been fine, until they went to that hospital. Y'all all right? Now, I'm playing these because, again, I could say it, but if I say it, it does. I'm watching you. Look, I'm looking at your energy. I'm saying it, you're like, When you see the people who do this for a living saying it, it has a different impact. I'm going to let them tell you because they're fighting for themselves. They're not thinking about us, but it affects us as well, too. What do these injections do to our people, to any people? Now we're going to hear just a few of them talking about what these injections actually do to people.
The message from our finding is that we found that recipients of the Pfizer vaccine, those who've had 2 doses, have about 5 to 6-fold lower amounts of neutralizing antibodies. Now, these are the sort of gold standard private security antibodies of your immune system, which block the virus from getting into your cells in the first place. And so we found that that's less for people with 2 doses. We've also found that for people with only 1 dose of the Pfizer jab, that they're less likely to have high levels of these antibodies in their blood.
I'm a registered nurse, BSN, case manager in Baltimore. My grassroots, boots on the ground report is that there's a lot of patients being injured. I've never seen anything like this. Since January, I've experienced personally 6 deaths, and I've lost count of the injuries. And we're not talking about typical adverse events like fevers, chills, sore muscles. I'm talking about things like urinating clots of blood, paresthesias, gastroparesis, altered mental status, respiratory arrest, cardiac arrest, new onset seizures, new onset diabetes. I have patients who can't walk anymore. Patients who keep complaining that their feet and their hands are burning. They forget where they are. I've just never seen anything like this in all my years of practicing medicine.
what we're seeing in the laboratory is the shots dysregulate your immune response. We have very important cells that keep other viruses in check, that keep cancers in check. There's a type of cell called a CD8 killer T cell. Well, there's a study out of Germany and the Netherlands that showed a shifted immune profile. And at the end, their conclusion was, we see a concerning pattern of the cells we normally need to fight off these other things. But the answer is, we don't know for how long that shifted pattern lasts. And I'm a pathologist, so we see this in the laboratory, and I'm seeing the early signal. Well, guess what else that CD8 cell does? And some receptors on some of these T cells called toll-like receptors, and there's a certain pattern of them. They keep cancer in check. I have seen a 10 to 20-fold increase of uterine cancer in the last 6 months in my laboratory.
And the blood has been crystallized with radiation and chemical poisoning. And so what you're looking at here is you're looking at the clotted blood prior to death, but after inoculation.
So I'm not even going to try to come behind that. It is what it is. I just want to show you there's a reason. And again, this is not, it's 0% about, hey, this is who I am. This is a little different. It's about when I come to share this with you, I'm not the other guy. I'm not here for my ego. I'm not getting paid to do this. I should be, but your life means more to me than the money. So I give everything up because what else do I have but my race? So I'm saying this, I want to show you, this was not a fight that if you didn't get involved in it, went away. The fight came to Washington, D.C., where I live. I cannot go around doing lectures called African Survival in the 21st Century, and they bring this war, and I know it, to the city I'm in, and I let it happen, and then I can still say I'm a fighter. That doesn't make any sense. Even though I don't do health thing. I just have to because they killing our people with this. So a long story short, in 2020, November of 2020, a month before they were going to give the injections in January and start giving the injections, in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. Are y'all with me? They came out with something called the Minor Consent for Vaccination Act, saying if the child is 11 years old or older, we can inject them without the parents' knowledge or input. You don't even have to know. We can just walk up, zap, stick your child, and they said all children have to get injected in order to go to public school. So we realize what I'm about to tell you they're trying to do here. If we let this happen in Washington, D.C., that's the nation's capital. It's going to go around the entire country and then the whole world as a standard. So we literally, but we couldn't walk out the house in 2020. So we were like, they're passing these laws, but we can't even go to them to the meeting and stop it. So it took us 3 years. We fought them tooth and nail, even going to the courts. Robert Kennedy Jr.'s group called Children's Health Defense did the lawsuit and did that for free. So we thank them for doing that. But they ignored the lawsuit. It got to the point where we had to say, what are we going to do? We literally got on the ground because we knew who was doing it. Who was running the Washington, D.C. Council? Jews. Mendelsohn. So we said, okay, this is what we're doing is not working. Why don't we go door to door in our black neighborhoods with the flyers and in the parks where people are with flyers saying, these are the Jews and they're trying to murder your children. Here's a QR code. You can go and watch what they're doing and voting to take away your parental rights and kill your children. And we went door to door doing it. And eventually by 2023, they pulled the law back because we were coming. They know it's about to go to the next level because at some point, you can't do no more talking and passing out flyers. But when they decided to pull the law back, I thought about it and I said, we fought this battle long and hard, but nobody will know this and nobody will believe it. So when they had the hearing to talk about the fact they were pulling the thing back, I said, I'm going to go and make sure that I'm at the hearing and I testify so that right now, I didn't know this was coming, but if it did, I would say, I won't be telling you something. I'll be showing you something so you'll know I'm not the guy talking. This is really what we do. So it's a short clip, 4 minutes, but I just think it's important to show you this is a war.
Ayo Kimathi? Yes.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity to speak to the council. The first thing I want to say is I do support this bill, 25-278. On August 23rd, 2022, I sent an email to the entire DC City Council, along with the mayor. And at that time, I indicated, one, the information, and I put links there so all of you have it, of what the people have mentioned about the VAERS system. It is the most dangerous thing being presented as medication and medicine in the history of this country. In 1 year, more reported deaths from this official system occurred from these 3 injections, Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson, than in 31 years, all actual vaccines combined, making it the most dangerous thing being presented as medicine. It is not medicine, it's technology. mRNA technology. I want to read, I also sent in the official listing of the 1,291, over 1,200 listed side effects officially as of April 2021 from Pfizer. These are what they knew before the injections were mandated. And I sent those to the entire council and to the mayor. So I'm glad that you're beginning the process of backing away from these. I don't think it's enough. I'm going to read part of what I sent. I am writing to inform you that in my estimation, everyone who voted for this bill is an active, knowing participant in a genocide against children in the United States of America, specifically Washington, D.C. This communication provides current evidence of why these injections are harmful and demonstrates your knowledge of the danger of these injections. The fact that you are intentionally and willfully circumventing the court's ruling to inject children without their parents' knowledge or consent represents your intent to do harm. From the date of this communication on August 23rd, 2022, I believe that any child who is harmed due to your advocating and or facilitating COVID-19 injections called vaccinations to them is a victim of an active genocide perpetuated by you and all of the members of the DC City Council who voted for this bill. I request that you employ the same urgency you used in circumventing the U.S. District Court's injunction against the Minor Consent for Vaccination Act of 2020 in ending this genocidal assault on the children of Washington, D.C. Otherwise, you may soon be pursued for crimes against humanity for actively engaging in a genocide against the children in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. So it is not enough to stop the mandates of the injections. Now that you have the information, you are now responsible with your knowledge to share that information with the public in Washington, D.C. I also want to bring to the attention of everyone out there.
So I'm going to speed through the rest of this thing because I want to get to it. And then I want the young people to come up because they have some things they want to contribute. I'm getting down to why I'm here. We just finished fighting this in 2023. I did not anticipate exactly what we're dealing with now, but just to say, many people know Baba Magufuli of Tanzania, the greatest president we had at that moment. Why was he murdered? Because the last thing that he did that really ticked them off, first it was the LGBT. He said, we're not doing it. Keep your money. We're not doing it. So they already had him on the list. After that, he said, you're not shutting my country down on this COVID thing. They didn't shut down one day in 2020. Nobody died. They said he made us look like a fool, and they murdered him in 2021. And there's some other presidents who said, no, we don't want these injections. All of them ended up gone, were murdered. I'm going to say, I got to say this. It's very important. And then I'm going to wrap up, but I got to say this. Well, you say, well, brother, in 2020, did you know what these injections were? Yeah, once we realized what was happening and April 2020, we knew what was coming. They're going to try to do these injections. I want to put the record out here so that if I'm gone tomorrow, everybody will know the record. This magnificent woman, Dr. Cynthia McKinney, I call her Big Sis, the dopest, strongest black woman. Y'all ain't never met a sister like this. If y'all not familiar with her, you got to look her up. I've never seen anything like this. I read about people like this, Queen and Zing. I read about them in books. I didn't know that they still live. This sister and I knew what was coming. We talked together and said, we will go and lecture country to country in Africa. We put it in the hands of people that could get it to the leadership in each country and told them exactly what was going to happen. We would come and explain it and share it with people. This is what happened. We did that in September 2020. None of them got back to us. Here's the good news. I would later find out some of those countries, I won't say which ones, protecting them, they heard what we said and they swapped out those for saline and just gave their people shots that weren't harmful. But they didn't want to come out and say it because they didn't want to deal with the international backlash. So they didn't kill their people. That's another reason why a lot of people didn't die. Some of the countries didn't do it. I'm going to just be real. The country where I knew that the president got the information for sure. He took the information point by point, went public, and told people everything that we said was false and that they should go out en masse and take it. I'm going to show it. I got to do it because since there were countries that did the right thing, I'm not targeting African countries. I'm just showing you the one that went. Some countries may not have done the right thing, but they didn't go out there and now say that the people that are trying to save our people, that we crazy and lie to the people. And you just saw what the doctor said is happening with these injections. Listen to what he said. Specifically point by point, countering what we put in our information to them.
Preparations are being made for the vaccination of 20 million Ghanaians through the deployment of some 12,071 vaccinators, 37,413 volunteers, and 2,079 supervisors for the entire vaccination campaign. Fellow Ghanaians, I know that there are still some who continue to express doubts about the vaccine. Others will express reservations about its efficacy, with some taking sides with conspiracy theories who believe the vaccine has been created to wipe out the African race. This is far from the truth. Our domestic regulatory agency, FDA, one of the most reputable in Africa and in the world, has certified the safe use of the vaccine. It will not do so if it had any reservations about the safety of the vaccine. And I've gone on record as saying that no vaccine will be deployed in the country for use without the express certification of the FDA. Taking the vaccine will not alter your DNA. It will not embed a tracking device in your body. Neither will it cause infertility in women or in men. As your president, I want to assure you that the vaccine is safe. That is why
What'd you say? The Tuskegee. I know this for sure. They knew about what we said because everything we said, point by point, was countered. Yeah. Telling the truth in reverse. Now, why am I doing all of this? Let me get to the point. All of that was to lay a foundation. I'm not Mr. Come up and talk a bunch of trash that don't know what I'm talking about. I'm in the fight. I didn't know this was coming right now. Let me say this because this is real. I'm going to get into the spirit and I'll go too long. No, let me just get the information. Let me get information. I'll play it and you'll see it, and then I'll tell you what we're really dealing with. This happened in December after I already got my ticket. I didn't want to come do this. but I have to do this.
And so for us, the first, we hope to sign many of these in the days to come. But the first one we're going to sign is with Kenya. And the reason why is twofold. Number one, because of our close partnership. Number two, because they have stable and strong institutions, both in government and in the healthcare sector. And over the next few years, we're going to be investing $1.6 billion in health assistance over the next 5 years. And you'll see how that program works out. But the investment is in combination. It will allow us, first of all, to leverage the private sector to create a sustainable U.S. health assistance model around the world, and not just in Kenya. But this is the perfect place to prove that it's going to work, because it is going to work. And what it means is that money is not just going to be spent to provide medicine and care. It's going to be spent to improve the domestic infrastructure, healthcare infrastructure, so that in 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 years, countries will say, we no longer need this much assistance, if any, because we have our own system. You've helped us to build it. It's now delivering results. And in fact, we now, these third, like maybe Kenya, want to go and teach other countries how to do it. And this is a very real possibility, and it's something we believe in. By the way, Kenya will, our partner, okay, we're not imposing this. They're our partner. $850 million is what they're going to give to support these efforts. So this is truly a partnership. This is the way we should be doing assistance around the world. True assistance is self-sustainability, building the ability to sustain yourself in the long term. So it's an honor to be able to do this with you today. I'm excited. This is our first one. We hope to sign, 30, 40. How many? 50. Okay. Well, this is number one. We'll always remember this one. You always, the first one is the one that, and we think we've picked the perfect partner. I thank you for being here today. I know you're also here. You're going to join us in a few minutes over at the Institute of Peace for another important topic on the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda. So we're grateful you're here for both of these things, but it lined up perfectly. We are honored to welcome you to the State Department, Mr. President, and thank you for joining us today. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, yeah, that was the Biden administration that started it. So let me make it simple. Y'all ready? 2014, come in, kill the women, and decide in 2018, the men are too masculine. We got to do something about that. Then they say, well, if the men are so masculine, why don't we come in and get them to go deal with this Haitian problem we have and go kill the Haitians? Check. Because they masculine men, right? So we'll get them to go kill the men. All right? Then they say, well, you know what? It's not working as well as we wanted it to work there. We want to kill the women and men. In the United States of America, there was something called the International Health Regulation, the IHR. The International Health Regulation was from the WHO, and they said, they had put it out in 2002, but they made amendments recently that we can make the decision as the WHO, anything that happens in the U.S. in any area, no matter where it is in the country, we can make the decision, we think this could be a threat. Doesn't have to be, it could be. And since it could be a threat, we now control and we can lock down and you have to follow whatever rules we have. Meaning we now have taken over your country in the U.S. Robert Kennedy Jr. came out as the head of HHS, said, no, we're not doing it. This just happened in the summer. So they said, we can't finish this job in the U.S. They repackaged it and said, fine, we'll take it to Africa. They brought it here first, ground zero. What is it? Here it is, the document. Cooperative framework between the government of Republic of Kenya and the government of the United States of America on health. Let's make it simple. It's a bunch of garbage, English gibberish. There's only 2 paragraphs you need to look at. I'm going to read them right here. The first one, the objective is right in the beginning. The objective of this framework is to guide the collaboration to eliminate HIV, malaria, tuberculosis, and other emerging infections, whatever they say. Infectious diseases, strengthen Kenyan health system so that it can become more self-reliant and promote U.S. interests. Now, did we just spend an hour talking about what the interests were? We just talked about it, so we know. To kill us, right? Mass murder. Now, how are they going to do it? It's right here, 2.1.2.7. The government of Kenya intends to allow the United States Food and Drug Administration approval or emergency use authorization of medical countermeasures to be a sufficient basis to use the medical countermeasures to respond to an outbreak. In other words, we showed you, Dr. Peterson Pierre, what happened in the hospital. FDA regulations, they killed everybody. Now, we don't have to go kill the Kenyans. We'll get Kenyan people to sign up. We'll give them money to have hospitals or things that look like places to go, even in the countryside, where they didn't have access to them before. So now you can go in there and kill yourself. Go ahead, stick yourself, fool. Stick yourself, kill yourself. We'll give you the money to do it. Now, instead of killing thousands, we can kill millions. You kill yourself. We want you to be self-reliant. Why should I have to kill you when you can kill yourself? Make your own mRNA vaccination plants. Anybody here heard about that? Make your own plant for your own genetic annihilation so that we don't have to go and fly and give you the shot. Give it to yourself. So I'm going to do this, and what I'm going to do, because I see many of our panelists have made their way out, no problem, but we still got two hanging on strong. I'm going to show this part. It's not just Kenya. Y'all are ground zero. They say if Kenya will get on board with it, y'all are the heart and spirit of East Africa, brothers and sisters. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know when we talk East Africa, Kenya is where we talk first. If you'll do it, everybody else will do it. Now we got Kenya. This is according to, we went on our Grok and Axios article. This is what they said. So I haven't verified, but this is what they said. 15 countries now. Kenya. It's the America First Global Health Strategy. America first. What about Kenya first? I'm sorry. What about Africa first? No, America first. Kenya, Botswana, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Ethiopia, Eswatini, Lesotho, Liberia, Madagascar, Mozambique, Nigeria, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, Uganda, Malawi. No other country has signed up other than African countries for the America First Global Health Strategy. So I'm going to do this. I think you get the point. If you want more about this, you can go to rumble.com and look up the African Holocaust Bill so you can see more on this particular situation. And you know what? Since I do have two left, what time? What does our time look like? What time is it? It's 20 minutes now, so this is about time when we said I was going to bring the young people in. So let's go ahead and do that because I want to keep my promise there. And once there's only one thing really a solution that I really want to say that's the main one, but more than that, I promised the young people that they would get a chance to speak and everything. And because we started a little later than we intended to, it didn't happen the way we wanted to. We have two of them left, so I want to give them an opportunity to come up, say what they want, or ask questions or whatever they want to do at this point. Y'all okay with that? Okay. Let's clap it up for Brother John. None of this would have happened without him.
Thank you. So, listening to what Brother Ayo has said, it enlightens all of us. So, I just had two questions to ask, and I hope you can be able to provide clarity on that. First of all, you talked about the COVID-19 vaccine, and you said something about chips being implanted into the human body. So I'm just trying to establish how feasible that is, given that a nanochip will require some sort of power source to be able to function. That's my first question. And then just to give context into what's been happening over the past 3-4 months in Kenya. Last year, on the 4th of December, there was a bill or a memorandum of understanding that we've seen and we've talked about in more detail. So in that understanding, there are aspects of data and information that the USA wants to access from the Kenyan people. And of course, this was something that was met with a lot of hostile opposition from lawmakers. The likes of Okia Omtata, brought this to court. The High Court itself refused this. So I'm trying to establish if America itself refused to deal with this pandemic response that the WHO had put in place, and then now they are reframing it and putting it to Kenyans. We saw what Marco Rubio said, that we want to partner with Africa, starting with Kenya. So what's in it for Americans if they themselves refused to partner with the WHO to give them that much autonomy? Thank you.
Man, wow. That was powerful. Okay, the first one. It's called self-assembling nanobot technology. I'm not, this stuff creeps me out, but when you see the video, I'm going to send you, Brother John and Brother Garisham, that anybody here once, you will have access to this. You can watch it and see it for yourself. Literally, and I've seen the doctors and the people involved in this technology field talk about it. I want you to hear the way they describe it. In this valve, it just looked like a regular thing that you stick in somebody's arm. They tell you we have 1,000 billion nanobots inside of this one little valve. That's 1 trillion. They inject that in you, and it's called nanobot technology. There's 1 trillion of them in one little valve they can stick in you. Which means what this stuff can do is literally create like a network. And because they have something called graphene oxide that's can pick up radiation. So you see these 5G towers that just popped up out of nowhere in 2020. They can now communicate inside the body system. So it does sound crazy. The best way to do it, we'll send you the information. You'll see it. This was before this was happening, when scientists are talking about the technology they have. So they talk about nanobot technology. That's no debate, any level on that. It actually exists. It's called nanobot technology. You can go look it up and see it for yourself. And it's self-assembling. So what happens is, once they put it in the body, when they send certain frequencies, it's weird stuff. I've watched it. It starts making the stuff assemble. I don't know how to say it. Like they can send a frequency and it makes the stuff assemble itself into all different kind of stuff. So they can tell it what to do. Stop your heart, or attack this, or I don't know. I don't know. I'm not evil like them. I don't know what they're going to do. I know it's not good. The second thing he asked, help me out so I can remember. It was your second question was related to, oh, okay, let me make it as simple as I can. Because if I try to dance around it, it's not going to make sense. He's asking, what is in it for the U.S.? If they won't take it for themselves, why do they want to give it to us? It's going to sound weird, but it's the Jews. When I told you how they killed people in America, that wasn't just black. They killed more white folks in America than they did black. It's the one time that white folks got beaten. They beat us in genocide. Like usually it's them committing genocide against us. This time it's Jews committing genocide against everybody. And they out-killed white folks in America. So what's happening is Robert Kennedy Jr., to the degree that he can, is defending the American citizens from the Jewish efforts of mass extermination. He's not coming to America to save you. I'm coming to America to save you. Ain't nobody white coming to save you. They trying to save themselves from the Jews. That's why we played the first video. If you watched it, the Jews going ham on the whole planet. They're not giving anybody a pass. They're in Argentina now. They're in Mexico. They in Greenland. And they're using white Americans as the faceplate of Jewish hegemony and the assault of the planet. Now, when it was a Biden administration, all of the people there was Jews. So Anthony Blinken was the one that came over here, Jew. Go kill the Haitians. It was Jews. Now, the Trump administration is a slave colony for Jewish interests. Listen to what I'm telling you. There is no America the beautiful anymore other than the American citizens and the Constitution. At the highest levels, it's just Jewish hegemony. What the Jews want, the Jews are getting. So when you say, why is America going to Greenland? Because the Jews told them to. Why is America funding the murder of the Palestinians? Because the Jews told them to. Why is America okay with the Jews going into South Africa and Cape Town and taking Cape Town? Because the Jews told them to. Why are they going into Kenyans, going over and killing Haitians? Because the Jews told them to. Whatever the Jews are telling America to do, because they are in control, that's what's happening. Those were 2 questions. Come on up here, brother. Let's clap it for our other brother, our archivist.
Thank you, Ayo. To everyone who is still here, thank you for staying till this late. Yeah, I have two or three questions and concerns. I was also asking myself, what's in it for US? You know, the document only says US interest, and then it ends there. The entire document doesn't mention what are these interests. And because of that, I tend to buy into what Ayo is bringing here. And when I was contacted by his aunt, and I got your contact, and I got to interact with your work, I was also wondering, why is this guy coming from US to come here, and, you know, why? What for? And to me, to go to that extent, you know, walk out of your comfort zone and like, I'll travel, go to Kenya and take that message there. It means something. So thank you for that. Yeah. My worry is, as Africa and even Kenya, where we are importing almost 70 to 90% of our drugs and pharmaceutical products. So how are we then going to defend ourselves from such? Bearing in mind that we don't produce. We import from Europe, China, and the US. So how are we going to defend ourselves from that? That's it from me.
Yo, let me, hey, look, these young people here are thorough. Y'all are going to be okay. Let's clap it up for this brother and my brother. Wow, I'm so glad I paused and let them come up here. He actually is perfect. He led into something. He asked it, so now I'm not extending the discussion. He asked a question I can show you better than I can tell you. But I like what he said in the beginning. It's like, what are the U.S. interests? Let me reshape it. Let me talk no good devil. Jewish interests. I showed the first video that we watched. Jews are the problem. I'm not saying that we don't have problems with Europeans. We do. Big ones. But the big problem of the whole planet is the Jew. If you don't know that right now, you don't know anything. So it's not, that's right. You say, what is the U.S. interest? It's not U.S. interest. Why would Robert F. Kennedy not want it there? And then he even said nobody around the world should take this. But they're not coming here to help us. They're trying to save themselves. The Jews are going after everyone. That's the answer. So thank you. Then he said, what do we do? I'm so glad you said it because I wanted to stop. But my next slide is right here. You see it right there. Solutions. So what I'm going to do, because I know I'm a bit extreme. I'm angry that they're trying to kill my race, but I'm trying to remain some professionalism. I really mean this first one. Let me start it with this. I can be in the spirit a little bit now. It's the truth. I wasn't born with the last name Kimathi. I had another name I don't like to bring up. But I decided I wanted to be a man, an African, all the way. Not the first and second name. I want every name that you can call me by to be an African name. Because I'm an African. You might have taken me from Africa, but you ain't take Africa from me. 400 years ain't never take it away from me. I'm still an African. So I wanted a real man's name. And I had learned about this man named Ayo Kimathi. I said, just the name is strong. And he's a warrior. I like that name. So I chose that name in like 99, I think, or 2000, somewhere in there, and changed it officially. I said, I'm a man now. Maybe I didn't go through a ritual, but the ritual of being in the West and being enslaved mentally and then saying, no, I still know who I am and I'm going to have a name that shows it. I did it. It's going to sound crazy when I say it. I took the name. I feel like he said, well, if you're going to wear my name, you got to do my work. Ground zero for fighting imperialism and colonialism. Where did it start? Yeah, Ghana got free first, but who started it? Who was on the ground in the backwoods with the Kenya Land and Freedom Party? His name was Kimathi. When it had to start, when the African World Revolution at that time had to start, it started right here. Ground zero. And now they bringing the war back here. I took that man's name. I got to wear his work. How do I get your name and don't do what you would want me to do or what you would do if you were here? Or at least the best that I can think that I can do to make you proud that I'm wearing that name. So My ancestors send information my way. I try to look away and I can't. I realize what's happening. That's why I came here. I was doing other things. I said, no, I see what they're doing. Ground zero for African liberation against colonialism was right where I'm standing. Well, this part 2. And this time, I want to say this because I forgot to say in the beginning. I think it's so important. In the last 1,000 years, we've had 3 incredible crises that we didn't know were coming. The Arab slave trade. We did not know it was coming. Came right through here. Tipu Tip and the boys. Destruction. Pivoted right off of that. Transatlantic slave trade. I'm a direct descendant. 400 years. I know that one. Third one. Berlin Conference. You didn't know. We didn't know. They met, said we going in. Every country we going in. Devastation. They tried to wipe us out, but we still here. The first time in the history of the world when there's a major plan of mass genocide and extermination of our people. Before it happens, we now know. Every one of you now is me. Listen to what I'm saying to you. I feel the need to fight for my people. But it's kind of it's the truth, but it's a little tricky with this one. I said, I'm going to come today. What I know is not going to be on my shoulders. That's why we're doing it live streaming so the world can see. Every African with a conscience can't say you don't know no more. You now know we're facing mass genocide and extermination, and you've seen it and you've heard them say it. And now you, as I, are responsible. Your job might not be my job. My job's not your job. But we can't say we don't know now. There's no way in good conscience you can let any bill about any health, anything coming from the West come here and you not be responsible for the destruction of your own people, our people. So what are some basic solutions? I'm a little bit over the top. I'll be honest. They call me the Irritated Genie. The spirit of the Haitian Revolution was called the Irritated Genie, the angry spirit. So I'm a little bit over the top. Is that okay? If it ain't no consequences as far as I'm concerned, why stop doing it? I'm saying this. My first solution, it needs to start here, ground zero. I call it a no-walk zone, meaning Bill and Melinda Gates have made it clear they want to exterminate black people. It is on no uncertain terms. The world knows. Then we can say we can't stop you from flying a plane. But in Kenya, since you want to kill us, if you dare lay your sacrilegious feet on this soil, it'd be the last step you ever take. I know that's a lot because I see how people responded. That's my opinion of how it's supposed to happen. There's no consequences. Nothing's going to change. I say that. I put it in red, yeah. In red. Yeah. Yes, sir. It's in red for a very good reason. Yes, sir. Yes. And I think that there should be signs around Kenya, even in the rural regions. Hey, just so y'all know, Bill and Melinda Gates, this is a no-walk zone for you. We know what you're doing. Other places will talk about it. We Kenya, we ain't about all that talking. I seen the Gen Z. We ain't gonna do a bunch of talking. Don't show your face. Nothing's gonna defend you. Nothing can defend you or protect you. Nobody's gonna stand in the way. You can't come here where you want to kill us and think you can walk free. My opinion. No more Western GMO seeds acceptance. You have your own scientists that are doing stuff with seeds. That's one thing, if they're really your people. But coming from the West, these killer seeds, they destroy your soil. They're giving you goats that kill all your goats, cows that kill all your cows. I've talked to people from Uganda to Kenya who've had whole farms and families destroyed by taking something from the West. Stop taking this stuff. Yes. Ban Western genocide health agencies like the World Health Organization and the United Nations. The only thing they're trying to do is kill our people. It's too much information now. Yes, sir. Ban. Yes. Oh, you meant burn. Oh, oh, you can take the A and put UR in it, or you can use an A. Either way, it's two ways you can spell it. Okay. I kind of like that better. Gone. Is that good enough? Yeah, gone. Yes. Thank you, Elder. And lastly, move to modernize naturopathic medical standards and practices. The brother said that. In the United States of America, we have all of these black people who have medical degrees, but they went from the Western medicine and went to naturopathic things that they studied here. So now they have both. And we have doctors on the continent that are like that too. What we need to do is bring the serious naturopathic doctors from America, from the West, and from Africa, sit down at the table and say, what are our new health standards? How do we deal with ailments? We don't need anybody else now because we have the same access to the technology they have, but we're not trying to kill ourselves. So we can do that. We actually have it. His point is well taken. We bring everything from the West. Why don't we go to the countryside where the elders take the branches and do this and take those and bottle them and start selling them? Why can't we do economics? And then when we go into our stores, if they want to have some Western stuff, you can have it. But then we have our natural stuff here. We go and pay for that just like you can pay for that and see whose stuff works better. We certainly not going to kill our people. Check. It can be done. There's no reason we can't do it. We just got to know when we decide to do that, pharmaceuticals kill people. We got to understand consequences. We're not the only ones that can die. Is everybody hearing me? If this is our continent, we're going to do it our way. You don't like it and you try to stop it, we'll kill you. I'm not advocating it. I'm saying if I'm here and someone's trying to kill you, I'm going to do everything I can do to stop them. And they ain't stopped until they can't do it. Am I wrong for that? And if I was, I just had to be wrong this time. I'll be okay. So I appreciate you, brothers and sisters. I'm not going to belabor the moment. I had a bunch of other stuff. We're going to drop it, though. We're going to wrap it up here. I just want to say this. First of all, let's thank the young people that stayed and contributed and made this possible. Let's thank Brother John. Let's thank Archivist. Let me get my brother's name right because I didn't even mention his full name. What's your name again, brother? Brother Oyamo, and the last name? Brother Oyamo Richard. Let's clap it for Brother Oyamo Richard. As a matter of fact, look, brother, you're an archivist, right? And a poet. You got something dope to drop on us right now while we wrap it up? Come on, let's clap it up for our brother. You're going to drop something dope.
Thank you. Yeah, so this poem is it's titled Red Tide Woman. And I'll need to explain why Red Tide Woman. So in the Kikuyu culture, for those who know about this, it's a certain mythical concept that there are some women from certain clans who are red tie. So if you happen to engage with them as a man, you die mysteriously. Yeah, so that's the title of this poem. As a certified victim of character development, I agree. There are certain things about this love thing that I do not know yet. But there are two things that I'm certain for sure. One must do them before you commit to any woman. Number one, you have to figure out if indeed she's a woman, you know, just to be sure. Number two, and this is on a serious note, you have to visit their home. Not to meet her parents, but to meet the borders in her area. Let me tell you, Maina, those border guys know that woman beyond the borders of the picture she has painted to you. So and yet again, these guys unanimously rumored to me that woman is a red tie. My next stop had to be at a gynecologist. In my hands, I held a case of life and death. I wanted to know if such thing as a red-tied woman does exist. And if it does, how do those thighs really look like? Are they like bloody red or what? And if not, how then can one tell that this woman is a red tie? In his fingertips, the gynecologist held years of book knowledge. And the book stated that this matter is still under investigation. Too many witnesses have disappeared. Too many have declined to cooperate in fear that the gods of the red ties may send the Grim Reaper to their homes. Guys, I am not a coward. And no, I don't doubt my love for this woman. It's just that too many good people have died for this woman. I want to live for her. And I may want to fancy the saying that love is blind, but no, the sight of history can't stop shouting at me. Pioga Mapinto, the poet who loved this woman to the core. With his pen he shied not from bleeding ink for her, but how did it end? She bled life out of him. Professor George Saitoti, even with his maths PhD, he could not see how calculated his death came. Oro Jode, Robert Owuko, oh, how he died in cold blood death. Tom Mboya, dude was so in love with this woman. He even flew planes to secure the future for her. But how did it end? In broad daylight. Bullets that can only be traced back to the hands of this woman rendered him lifeless. Ken Saro-Wiwa, the writer who loved this woman to the core. With his pen he shied not from churning out letters for this woman. But how did it end? She killed him. Pombe Magufuli, the man who loved this woman to the core, but still we only have inhumane death to look back to. And the list is endless. The other day it was Baby Pendo. The other day it was Gen Zs in Kenya. The other day it was young people in the NSAS protest. The other day it was Bisley Kogi, Denzel Washington. And the list is endless. And each and every day we behave as if we are not seeing that dating this woman is like walking on a field full of landmines. Look at Boniface Mwangi. Look at Okio Mtata. Look at Ayo Kimathi. And the list is endless. I do want to commit to this woman, but first I demand some answers. When will we get the answers to the blank pages in the books of investigation? Too many good people have died for this woman. I want to live for her. Thank you.
All right. We're going to wrap up and we're done. I tell you what's so, you want to come say something? All right, you know what? Before I say anything, let my brother come up here. Well, let me just say one thing about what he said. I think it's really important because I'm glad he said what he said. I'm going to say it on both ends. For every African man that wants to fight for our people, you have to get the right woman. Because you get the right woman, she'll make your fight worth it. You get and pick the wrong woman for you, you won't win that fight. And in reverse, for every sister that loves your race and your people, you can't get a weak male who's not focused. You got to get you a real black man, because that man will drag you in the dirt and you'll lose years of your life. So let's pick one another according to standards of doing for our people, and let's lift this beautiful race of ours. Come on up here, my brother. Let's clap it up for my brother. Come on up. Is it Jaraga? Karanja. Brother Karanja. Let's clap it up for Brother Karanja.
Yo, thank you very much. I don't have a lot of words. Just have to say one thing. The situation we are in, or the state we are in, is the black state of emergency. And that's the campaign we are doing as Team RBG worldwide. It's the woman he's talking about. That's the situation we are going through. The whole story, the whole thing you have narrated to us is the black state of emergency. So the only thing we can do is come together in that spirit of Dedan Kimathi. And there's one ritual we are doing, all black people worldwide who are waking up to this realization. We are setting an alarm that is ringing every day, 12 p.m. to remind that we are in a black state of emergency in this world.
Thank you. And that's true. Are we good? Is there anybody else? Going once, going to, I do have to say this. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. There is something that I want to do because, yeah, this is the right way to end it. Sometimes we need an example, and we don't need to wait until people are gone and bring them back. If they here and they doing it, we got to acknowledge it. Baba Goita in 2021 started it off. You're not going to kill my people. There are consequences. He don't do a lot of talking. I love that brother, man. That's what we say in the West. Baba Goita don't do no talking. Then the Prince came in 2022. Baba Traore in Burkina Faso. The young man, the Prince. A lot of years of good leadership. Man, we love that brother. And then, as Africans, you got to top it all. Got to have the elder. Baba Chiani come in from Niger. The AES right now is leading the world in African liberation and what it's supposed to look like and how it's supposed to be done. I like what the brother did. The brother said, we salute. Matter of fact, let's all do that. Let's salute to the work that these African warriors are doing on behalf of our people. We support them. Do we support them? That's right. That's right. So I just wanted to show this because they're taking over this region here. This is where we should be getting our instructions of how and what African liberation looks like. And this is one of the things we had on one of the questions that we had asked. I just want to show this real quick. This is what I wanted to tell Kenya I need y'all to do. Y'all are great with musical sound. For liberation to really happen, the African World Revolution, we're not in words, it ain't bees and hoes. We don't need all of that filth. We need liberation music to give sound, to move us in a vibration. What you heard today should be in songs, breaking it down, mRNA and what they trying to do and give us musical vibration for revolution and for the upliftment of African people. I just wanted to play this. It's short, but this is how it feels and what it sounds like when real leadership exists and we put some sound behind it.
Yeah. One African giant, African giant, never compliant, we're self-reliant, always defiant, the West will be silent, warrior king, they feeling the stings, men of the people, not a part of the sheeple, legend of Africa, see Thomas Sankara, Captain, 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 la patrie de Thomas Sankara, il faut tous les cara, kick la force comme du karaté, les occidents les carrés, la patrie de Thomas Sankara, il faut tous les cara, on a trop galéré, le truc qu'on va gérer, c'est le moment d'action, contrôlons la.
Now tell me, if that's playing at the club, we bopping on that, right? Listen, for all my brothers and sisters that are listening from the U.S., definitely if you're listening from, I know you're listening from Burkina Faso because we talked about it. If you're listening from South Africa, if you're here in Kenya, change the music culture. Take out the profanity, take out the fighting and killing each other. Somebody gonna die, but it ain't gonna be us. Let's be revolutionary, in love with one another, in love with our African lives, and in love with good governance and leadership. Let's put it on sound and let's do it. Thank you, brothers and sisters that's tuning in around the world. We love you. We appreciate you. I'm going to hand it back over to my brother, Giri Shom. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Let's give a big round of applause, please, everybody. Thank you so much. I think we can all stand up, get closer here. We can be able to give a vote of thanks and then make our prayer, and then we'll be able to go. Right, move closer in this step one. Yes, all of us together. So I want to take the opportunity to thank all the organizers of the event. John Kubasu, thank you so much. All those who've contributed with their questions and answered, those who've made sure that the coverage is going live. I was following it live while sitting there just to see exactly how it's interacting with the rest of the world. Brother Ayo Kimathi, if I knew what you're going to show us is what you had, then let me promise you one thing. And I'm not going to promise you alone, neither am I going to promise you this with Brother John. Each and every person who is standing here, we have to invite Brother Ayo back. If you agree with me, let's clap for that. Remember, I've just watched that there are about 4 to 5 faces, and you've only spoken about one. Did you notice that? Yeah, only the first face. And so we must invite you back. And this time round, all of us are going to put our heads together get all our networks together, invite you in a venue that can accommodate, including even if it's 1,000, and we have to make sure we see you back here. Finally, we are really going to pray for you that as you go fight among the policymakers back in Maryland, that may God see you and your effort through. Those who are watching me, please, let's support Ayo Kimathi with his mission around the globe to make sure that whatever he has in mind, whatever God has given him as a purpose, it comes to fruition. Finally, I want to make this announcement. In August this year, I know he mentioned it, but he didn't bring it out because I know he was letting me do it. The last time I was with him in Uganda, an idea just came up. We are going to have a global cultural fest in the month of August. Many Black Americans don't know what Africa looks like. What they're being taught in history there is totally untrue. You also what iSpeed did just last month in Kenya and across Africa. And when he was live streaming it, most Americans said, we didn't know this what Africa looks like. And ladies and gentlemen, guess what? We are targeting to bring more than 2,000 Black Americans to Africa to experience our culture and what African is. The first country to do that, it will be here in Nairobi, Kenya in the month of August. We even have a set date between 17th to 23rd of August. That's when you're celebrating Marcus Garvey Day. And it's called the Straight Black Pride Movement. Straight Black Pride Movement. And so, those who are listening to me, remember the entire cultural show, it will be in Africa, specifically in Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you so much for each and every person. Let's all clap for each other and then we can be able to pray. Let's pray as we close. Father, in the name of Jesus, we come before your presence right now. We want to thank you for enabling us to meet today. We want to thank you for enabling us to have this conversation today. It's not about how many people attended, but it's about the volume of the words, the impact of the word that was spoken today. May you lead us through as we start this mission. May you lead us through as Ayo Kimathi go around Africa, enlightening us about exactly what's happening, the warfare that is existing. So for our case, Father, we are asking that give us wisdom to understand and interpret in this information. And more importantly, give us the wisdom to know how to go through this battle, because it's not our battle, but your battle, God. In Jesus' name we pray. Thank you. Wow. Right? So we're good.
Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also follow us on our other social media platforms. On Instagram, we're at dc.radical1. On Twitter, we're at dc_radical_ONE. And the Cashapp is $DCRadical1. Again, thank you for subscribing. A big for ODA and straight black pride.